Welcome back, everyone, to LCS Challengers. Sorry, just stuff with production staff. We tend to joke around here, but shout out to Cloud9. Beat, do you want to say why?
You're just flexing on Twitch chat with the behind the scenes stuff. All right, nice man. And yeah, I mean, just quick shout out to Cloud9 for smashing 100 Thieves so hard. We're gonna finish the 6-game day before midnight EST.
Thank you, Cloud9. As this was
Quick
the series.
salute.
This is kind of the way we were expecting the series to go, at least in numbers, but not like in performance. Because for this game number 2, when he pulled out an Ivern and Wildcard just clapped Fear.
I mean, the draft was just better. I felt like there was no point in the game where Fear were able to really do much of anything. So, with that in mind, Wildcard were pretty comfortable.
That
in
is
the driver's seat.
That is a Rengar, not a Renata.
Not a Renata,
Both
yeah.
start
But
with
you know,
Ren,
first
so-
3 letters, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but
What you know about Renata jungle, though?
not a jungle. It's
The answer is nothing.
Okay,
Nobody wants to know about that.
It's the best thing you could really go for, because think about it. Like, every time you gank, if you fail the gank, you just bail them out. You know, you got the handshake for crowd control. It's actually terrible. Don't do it.
I was looking at your camera being like, why aren't you laughing? Are you serious? I was scared.
But what do you think this is going to mean for Cincinnati Fear now? They've already given a chance on the Rengar. Didn't work out. You don't have the Rengar. You don't have this in. This means you're going to have to start going for stuff like the J4 or the Vi.
Chad's been playing a long time. We know he's definitely got plenty of champs in his wheelhouse. And we'll see when we get into draft what Fear are going to be able to cook up. They've chosen to be on blue side. So I'm wondering if they're looking to prioritize some kind of strong B1. It could just end up being the Varus because they haven't actually played it yet this series. But either way, the series is going to end one way or another, guys. We're going to send our second team to the lower bracket after this game is done. Is it going to be Wildcard, reminding Fear why they beat them in the regular split? Or is it going to be that revenge for Cincinnati Fear?
I don't know. We got to find out. And the only way to do that is to get into the game. As we get into the draft of our game number 3, first ban is going to be Udyr. Now, that is still going to be what I'm watching out very closely, is what gets selected in the jungle pool. There still is a lot of good picks for Toasty in particular, if we're talking the mid lane at the same time. I don't think the Karma was the best, at least for the type of influence that we expect from Toasty on the map. And kind of getting shoehorned with both the Rengar and the Karma didn't really do them any favors in the grand scheme of things.
No, not at all. Now those champs aren't available, so we'll see how Fear are going to mix it up this time around. And I will say, good on Wildcard to be able to get a lot of value out of that Ivern with that double marksman composition, since they won't be able to go that route again in this last game of the series. Now they'll have to mix things up as well. And still, with Fearless, we're really expecting in a couple weeks' time when we get to the best of fives. Yeah, which started, I believe I wrote down, March 22nd. Round 4. That's when we really start to see the depth of these champion pools.
Yeah, because that's when you're going to start to, 4 bans before you even get into the draft itself. So that is wild right there. Yeah.
Think about
and imagine the way the marksman picks have been going. We've been seeing games where it's like 5, 6 marksman bans. If we have 4 banned away from the get-go, that's miserable.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Deeper.
I have a feeling outside of like certain situations, something like that isn't really going to happen. We're going to see like
B1
a bunch
anytime,
of bans.
beatdown. It's B1 anytime. Once we get
Not
to the
yet,
game 5.
not yet. We're getting
Once we
there.
get to the game 5s. Anytime as okay, a little bit of a change-up now coming in for Cincinnati Fear. This can go either towards Chad or Toasty. I expected a little bit more towards Toasty given the type of influence he does. But that's going to be the B1. Talia locked in for Cincinnati Fear.
Yeah, I think this is already a great setup for a Vi Talia, because we talk about Vi Ahri a lot, but I mean, this was a combo that's been, I played a lot throughout Challengers these last couple of weeks, so I'm kind of expecting it to go that route. Maybe Fear will want to hold on to that flex pick a little longer, but I mean, I don't see the reason. If you don't pick it on your first rotation, it's going to get banned.
And the next pick is actually going to be the Hue locked in for Darkwing, so interesting lock-in to see. I mean, I really like the way we were seeing there's this whole angle we're seeing out of Darkwings when he was on the Tristana, because that was so violent. He just kept jumping in there and looking to pick a fight with Toasty. Now that we have that champion locked in, we get the front line established for Wildcard, Sejuani or Winnie.
Okay, so now more of what we're used to seeing on Winnie, a bit of a go button with that Arctic Assault, with that Glacial Prison, and just a champ I mean, we've just been seeing a bunch of. It could also set up for maybe Dark Wings is thinking of a melee mid if that Hui ends up going into the support role, or you could just set up something like Renekton or Jax for Quacker on the top side, because you get a really strong pairing with that Sedge. Come on.
Let's lock in Cincinnati Fear. Do you go for that Nautilus at least? Cross your fingers, beatdown. Hope
Surely
for it.
it's by. Surely it's
It's
by.
gotta be. Gotta be. I don't want to see anything
We
too
have 10
crazy.
seconds. They're running for the... Talk about something else. They're going to run the clock.
J4 is a champion that
Oh,
it could
sure.
also be. So I would
can
be
live with
happy
that.
we went for either of those, but...
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, so
Chad's
it's
played this?
Kindred locked in for Chad. I have no recollection of him playing Kindred.
Me neither. I
even
know
recently.
Rosethorn, Kisno were pretty
No Kindred on the season.
players. No, so this is going to be a first for Chad in spring, bringing it out in day one of playoffs. I mean, Rosethorn showed us how impactful this champion can be, especially against Wombo-type compositions, that Lamb's Respite being such a powerful tool for you to be able to withstand it.
Yeah, so he played it 2 times last year, season 13, but has no record of spring of playing it. 1-1, lost the other. So we'll see how Chad's going to do with this. Plays very different from what I was expecting. Again, we wanted to see the fighter, something that can get in the face of something like Dark Wings and give Toasty a lead so they could roam out together. But it's definitely a different take seeing Chad take the carry pants this time, which he's definitely capable of. Just haven't seen it as much on the Kindred in specific.
Yeah, I think the combo is fine in the mid and the jungle, and of course you still have plenty of CC and lockdown for Daption's side. It's just a new pick for Chad is what's surprising about it for me. But
No,
looking
it's gonna
over
be fun.
to, or a new
It's gonna
pick
be
this split, I should say. He's definitely played it before. Yeah, it
Got
will
it
be.
figured out. I got it figured out.
All right, talk to
All
me.
right,
What
all
do you
right. Chad goes in, team fight breaks out, Lambster Spike goes down.
got? Okay.
Toasty is gonna yeet them out of the Lambster Spike with the seismic shove. There we go. It's the tech.
Dude, like, we got to switch roles. You know exactly what you're talking about.
LCS
Eric.
coaches, I got you.
Yeah. Sure, man.
Please don't hire me. I'm terrible.
Yeah. Wildcard,
Play-by-play brain.
not so much. You can see more marksman bans. A lot of respect being thrown Lens's way. It's actually 5 marksman bans,
Yeah.
including the Zeri and the Zaya. So
We
really,
hate Lens
it's
here.
7. And now that Smolder has been taken, there are 880 carries currently that Lens is not able to grab. So I don't even know what we're going to see at this point. Senna's banned, so you can't really match that scaling in the bot lane like we've seen a lot of teams do. Okay, so it's Kai'Sa. I feel like that's just kind of all that's left in terms of decent 80 carries.
Right now, I'm scrolling through the patch notes because I want to see what the changes were to Smolder. I know they were pretty heavy on the nerfs.
If you're talking about what was on Twitter, I don't think that has actually gone through yet.
Okay. So yeah, because we're on 14.5 right now, so that's not.
We're locked on 14.5 for playoffs.
Okay,
So
all right.
this is still, Smolder. 225 is the threshold, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Oh, we are 5. We are 5 to Darius. Oh my God. All right, guys, it's game 3. Winner, upper bracket life on the line. Quacker says, "Gimme Darius."
I love it, man. Quacker on the Darius. This man, when he first came into the scene, he was known as the
Years
solo
ago.
kill king, and he was just dominating in the top lane when it came to solo kills. Even though Wildcard didn't have the greatest finish, it was a good solo performance out of Quacker for that season. But a lot of that was on these ghost champions that could just get in your face and start whacking the living daylights out of you. Darius was one of the big ones. We have 2 big Darius players in the league. Dragoon is one of them. Quacker is another. So this is saying, hey, it's game 3. Let's go all out. Let's go all in. Let's bring our heaviest punches we possibly can. Quacker's throwing down.
And I mean, what better time to do it than in game 3 of their first series here in playoffs? As we're getting into game, I really like the Darius, especially because when you consider the range that a lot of Fear's comp is going to play at, Eric, I think Darius likes that one a lot. You pair it with Sedge on the top side too. You're able to skirmish very well on that side of the map. And if Quacker gets any bit of a gold lead, he's going to rip these team fights apart.
Oh, yeah.
30 seconds until
Yeah.
minions
I'm sorry, I'm just that excited for the Quack Darius, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. As now Cincinnati Fear looking for an angle on the Quacker. Quacker's going to notice this, so he won't be in any real trouble. But yeah, this is going to be the big showdown right now. Cincinnati Fear pulling out some new angles in both the Kindred being on Chad,
Yeah.
Toasty to see the Talia as well as the Kaisa. Same thing with Wildcard. They're bringing out some of their heaviest hitters that they've had in the past. Quacker on the Darius. Aaron had some pretty good smolder looks throughout the season, so we got something very, very capable for this final Game 3. But the question is, who got this one? Let us know in Twitch chat. Fear or Wildcard?
There it is. One last time for the night, guys. Let us know in chat who you think is going to win. Fear for Fear and WC for Wildcard. Wow. It's going to be an exciting one, Eric.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Wildcard. Yeah. I'm looking at Wildcard. And the thing that I think about with Smolder is that, yeah, you scale really well and you're going to be really strong in that late game once you hit that 225 stack threshold. But you're not able to do a whole lot before then. You're focusing most of the game on stacking, right? So the rest of the map really needs to do some legwork in terms of the early game. You're giving up Drakes. You're giving up a lot of bot prio. So what is the rest of the team going to be able to do until you get there? And that's what I look at when I see Quacker on the Darius paired with Winnie Sen. It's going to be a lot of topside attention, I imagine, after this first clear from Winnie. Focus on Void Grubs. Focus on trying to get some kills on Quacker.
I mean, as you said, you're forfeiting a lot in the early game for the bot lane.
Yeah.
To just get this smolder towards this ungodly late game where even the burn does the executes. That's the thing that kind of gets me. Sometimes you see someone get away from one of these super scorchers, and then you see that little burn coming through, and it's like, yep, that was just your life. Again, Aaron has been very competent on this champion in the past. There were some games where the Wildcard were almost on the brink of winning and coming back thanks to a lot of the plays we saw from Aaron. Now Chad going on the invade. We'll spot out Winnie claiming his blue buff. Nothing really left to gain over there. We'll still await the wolves in the process.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, Chad has smite, so he's going to be able to get the big wolf. He might actually be able to get both. Oh, he got the big one. That's what matters. So he was still able to get something as he takes something from Winnie. He's just going to go back to farming the rest. Now we're going to see if Chad wins the lottery. The entire Game 3, the entire series. It's going to be decided right here, guys.
It's based on this.
Yep.
It's topside.
Oh, it's topside.
It's
GG.
topside.
Go next. Go next. Sorry, bro. There's nothing you can do.
Wait a second. I don't know about that. Look at Chad's pathing.
I mean, he's going to lose. Like, there's no way.
You're so late. There's no way. There's no way.
Oh, yeah, because he still had his bot side to farm. He ended up spending a little time going for that invade. And yeah, I mean, sorry, buddy.
See, that's pretty questionable to me because this is going to be a lot of time wasted. And Darkwings has the pinch. A nice flash from Winnie follows Chad through. And first blood for Darkwings.
All right. That was
Just say it.
that was not a good decision. I'm going to keep it 1,000.
Agreed.
And Chad pays for it. He ends up dying, loses his flash for it. He still hasn't finished clearing his bottom side camps either, and they're still level 1. And he didn't even get a Scuttle Crab. It's really unfortunate to be set behind like that as a Kindred. It does not feel good at all. I mean, the bright side is the rest of the map is going fine. So I wouldn't say all is lost, but now there's going to be less opportunities for Chad to try and make plays, go for any potential ganks. But Winnie, he's perfectly fine.
Here comes Quacker. And now the Apprehend pulls Phillip right back in. And the Quack is on the attack. He'll get a kill over on the top side for Wildcard.
There it is. This is where the game will start to get hard for Fear. Now that Quacker has a kill, he is going to be very difficult for Fear to team fight against later on. And Winnie kind of has this top side now that's going to allow him to fight for these Void Grubs as much as he wants to, now that he's back and to spend some of this gold coming through.
And I really do feel like a lot of this was off of that mistake that Chad made to try and contest over there towards the top side. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like some of it was the belief that Philip had priority and he could still play for it, but it was too far towards the mid lane when the fight did start breaking out. That should have been the cue for Chad to really bail out. I mean, shouldn't have been there in the first place, but will still claim his mark. So he does get some assistance from Daption in his bot lane to grab that scuttle over in the bot side.
And it's tough too, because usually by now Chad would have been able to potentially make a play for that Drake here. But it's looking like that option isn't really available to him either. I'm wondering if we see Winnie try and make that play for it. And okay, guys.
Oh, what are you doing, Philip? Just casually strolling on by, burning flashes on the way out.
This literally reminds me of a solo queue game. Not solo queue. A Norms I played like last night. Some friends were dunking the bot lane. So this Blitzcrank would just only come mid. He's like level 4. I'm like level 8, Eric. And he has nothing else to do, so he's just mid. And I feel like that's the position Philip's in, where it's like, top lane's really hard for him right now.
Yeah,
so
mid's my favorite duo lane, you know?
Yeah, totally.
All right, looking for the setup's going to be Daption. Gets the hook onto Doxa. Doxa does have his flash, and there's not much crowd control really left for Fear, so Doxa's okay.
Yeah. I mean, not a whole lot's going to come from it. You're just going to get it back from Aaron and Doxa. I don't think anyone is really in a great position to try and contest this Drake right now. And I like that Winnie, he's not even really trying for it. Doesn't want to mess around because he has that Smolder in the bot lane still scaling. But here, Philip has no flash, no ult because of what he did mid lane. This is just an easy dive.
Here comes the punish. Noxian Guillotine's available, so leading the turret aggro is going to be Winnie. He can just step right out, and there it goes. Taking the head of Philip. Quacker gets kill number 2.
And can we just take a moment and look at this wave that Philip is losing? Because, oh my god.
Man. Jeez, he doesn't have teleport.
Nope, that's what I mean. It's all gone. He's going to lose part of this next wave as well, and Winnie has an easy track to this next set of Void Grubs coming through. Quacker is going to be a problem this game. We said it was imperative. Because Aaron is playing Smolder and is trying to stack, scale, that Quacker is going to be able to get a lot of things done early alongside Winnie. And let me tell you what, he's getting things done.
Jeez. That is looking kind of doomed over there in the top side. When Quacker gets a lead on champions like this, he's always looking for opportunities to continue pressing. Yeah. In fact, if he doesn't get a lead, he's still looking for those opportunities when he's on Darius. So this is becoming a nightmare for Fear to have to handle, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, Philip now, he's walking through this top side, seeing if he has an angle for an invade, because he can't interact with Quacker anymore. He needs that much time. Look at this word. He needs that much time to be able to potentially run away.
At this point, you got to take the Niles angle, where you just keep sacking your wave to appear randomly in other people's lanes and get their flash out. You know, it's not looking good in the 1v1. You're staring down at Darius, who has almost, like 15 CS over you, 2 kills on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
A bunch of turret plates. Don't forget the turret plates.
And Winnie in the back pocket, too.
Yeah, Wildcard. Really good position this game. And because of that prio, Winnie feels really good about invading, clearing out this vision. He has level 6 now. There's an angle where they try and dive Philip again. Because Chad has shown himself they're not going to go for it.
Instead, Winnie's eyeballing the mid lane. Notice he should be taking the recall right here. He doesn't have any mana. He can't really keep up with the wave. Arcwing's just trying to run some interference, but Winnie will take his pathing over towards the bottom lane right now, and that's a lane that's getting pretty hard pushed in. So far, not that much vision to spot out Winnie on this movement.
Nope, and it's another Hunter's Mark denied from Chad. Oh man, I have a difficult question for production. Can we see Chad's stack count?
Oh no.
I want to know. Where is the Kindred at in stacks?
All right, let's see.
Because it's got to be 0.
You got to see the Kindred. Bring us to the Kindred. Let us see those. Oh, no. There was a Scuttle Crab that got taken. It's not 0.
Really? Oh, okay. Then Chad is at 1. I mean, 0 or 1 at 10 minutes. That feels really bad as Kindred. To be real, it's not a good spot.
It's all right.
Is it?
All right. Eventually, we'll get back onto Chad and see.
Yeah, exactly.
The stats are, but hey, as it is at the moment, it still is a pretty successful early game coming out for Winnie thus far. He's been able to put up some good pressure and pretty much capitalize on the mistakes that we had from Chad earlier. Now Toasty appearing over on the top side, trying to alleviate the damnation that is Quacker. A couple of slices go in with the Darkened Blade, but with the Ghost, he can step away from that seismic shove without issue.
Trying to land that spell when someone is ghosting just feels so bad, and skill shots in general. And that's tough. Toasty, he tried to bail out his top lane with a roam like that, but he ends up sacrificing a little bit for it too. And now Darklings has a bit of a lead. He's gotten a turret plate for himself, and the play, it really only cost Quacker a summoner spell he can live without for the next minute or two.
Nope, not allowed to leave. Let's stick here. It's the only thing that's going to get Philip at least some catharsis for the abuse he's been taking in this early game.
He's like, don't worry, guys. I got his recall. Worth.
But now look who's coming up. Winnie instantly starts pathing topside. Leave Philip alone, man.
Sorry, man. You existed in top lane. It's an illegal
he's going to
maneuver.
do it again. It's a trap. It's a trap laid by the Quack and Winnie. Now Winnie moves forward over in the alcove. Philip trying to find his way out of this, but the apprehend will pull Philip in. A flash over the wall. Winnie follows suit. No more stuns available. Nope, there comes the ultimate as Chad arrives. Lamster Spike gonna go down. Philip, not much health to be really had, so he has to leave early. Try and secure his own life, but here comes Quacker. Quacker with the misstep. It's a shutdown going over to Chad.
If the Q hits, Quacker has an execute. I respect the angle, but you give some much needed gold over to Chad as a result. It's a nice read from Chad, being in the area, being able to respond to something, and able to really get the punish for it.
In a place where you needed it, Philip has not been able to breathe, man.
No, he hasn't. This is a bit of a long one, but props to Philip for making it last as long as he did with the flash. You could tell Quacker and Winnie were a little apprehensive with using their own, believing that they have the tools to slow him down and try to knock him down. But Chad buys time, and this could have been still net positive for Wildcard. But Quacker wants more.
That was pretty ambitious right there. I mean, if the apprehend's off a cooldown, maybe, but
maybe.
Rough one. Now Wildcard setting up on the dragon. First dragon was grabbed earlier by Cincinnati Fear, so it's not going to be the most contentious when it comes to dragon stacking. Wildcard able to secure, at least, no one even nearby will be able to secure the second dragon.
It's nice for Wildcard too, because you're really not expecting to get any in this early game, Eric, but the fact that you're able to get one and delay Fear's Soul, that's a really good thing for you. And even though Quacker gives away his shutdown, he is still pretty formidable in this top lane, but it has allowed Philip to catch up a good bit. You can see he's even in CS. Of course, Quacker, actually is just letting go of that wave. So it will just be Philip with the lead.
How do you like it, Quacker? How do you like it? Cutting off the wave. Chad just staying right there to punish back for good buddy Philip. As Winnie has to pull back towards his Raptors. You can see Cincinnati Fear starting to stretch out a bit more as they get the roam coming out of both Chad and Daption. Deeper into the jungle towards the red buff. Spot Winnie as they begin to leash the red buff over. Winnie's still hanging out in the area, but Quacker has been called. You know Winnie, when he sees the fight, he wants to take it. He's itching to go right over the wall with the Arctic Assault, but Chad dodges out. Now the slow onto Daption. Ultimate gonna land as Daption in a bad way. Takes a big burst of damage, half health, but Fear are able to get out. Operation still the red buff, successful.
No, actually, unfortunately, Winnie was able to secure it. Quacker has it, but the Operation Live to Fight Another Day, successful. Shout out to Toasty for a really good seismic shove, but these delayed
from the attempt of stealing the red buff. That's
there
what
you
I meant.
go. Yeah, totally.
Obviously.
I could be a Mission Impossible title, but now Wildcard, they're gonna have Operation. We get the Whiff Tail because we get whatever objective we want at the moment.
Wildcard are sitting pretty. I'm also looking at the bottom lane right now, and not that much has been forfeited from Aaron in comparison to Lens, so even that's going to be well for him getting this Smolder into the late game stacking.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering now how many stacks Aaron even has and how well he's doing. Now he has that first item. He's got a little bit of ability haste to speak of, but I may need to hold that thought because Darkwings.
Underneath the tower, Dox is not far off from providing some backup for Darkwings.
Same with Winnie.
Look at Cincinnati Fear. They're all setting up around this area. don't have that much control of the Fog of War right now.
They're like, whoa,
and now
wait a
here's
second.
Daption. Oh, wait a second. What's a Nautilus doing over here? As they'll jump right onto Daption, but they're pulling back Winnie in the process. Might be a trade right now. Support for jungler as running out. No, you cannot escape, Doxa. Lens goes forward. Turkish Prince wants more, and Darkwings is happy to give it, but Lens will oblige with the Lamps for Spike going through. Coming out of the sidelines is Toasty to try and rock the world, but Darkwings will find the outplay. Gets marked by the missiles of Lens. And like that, Cincinnati Fear, they find a fight they like, and they bring it right back.
And it couldn't have come at a better time, Eric. It's looking like they were starting to lose control of this game, but instead, they make it work. They get first brick as well, even though Quacker gets a turret to trade. And this is a I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me moment. Adaption was able to get all his CC off before he finally ended up going down. And this is the problem. This is the thing that's tough about Smolder. You just don't do a lot of damage right now. So he wasn't able to offer nearly as much as Lens was.
See right there, that's the benefit of taking that Kindred. Lens can just be a little bit more aggressive, continue that dive.
Yeah.
And even with Darkwings, I mean, it's a silver lining, and then immediately tainted by Lens landing that missile. Now we have a 2-0-2 Kaisa on the Rift.
Yeah, hitting that second item, that's a really big turnaround here for Fear, because now you have this opportunity to potentially play for a 5v5 around a major objective. Your only problem is still going to be Quacker. My concern with this Kaisa, when I saw Quacker lock this champion in, is the range you want to play in. And Quacker has a pretty good opportunity to shut you down. So Fear, even though in terms of raw power, I like where they're at this stage of the game, it's just going to be about whether or not Lens can avoid Quacker.
Cincinnati Fear are looking to defend their own jungle and get some vision right back. Wildcard are happy with what they've gotten, so take the retreat out of the jungle of Fear. Now, on this note, with this next lull, we need to see Aaron. We need to see where those stacks are. This is going to be very, very crucial, because around the 23, 24-minute mark, that is when the Smolder starts to pop off, and right now it's 132.
It's not bad. Oh, 132. Oh, hold on.
Oh, Lens just hops right in, but Quacker wants all of it! Quacker will still get a kill! And man, the dude is just a madman when it comes to these skirmishes like that. You never know if he's going to take one right back.
Wow.
Yeah, Glacial Fisher, it's on to Chad, it's on to Daption. Wildcard go forward. Winnie able to get the stun right on the Daption, and there comes Mom. Winnie will grab one. Lens not in the spot he wants to be. He's deep into no man's land. Chad's able to protect him. Lens goes on a rampage. Lens still trying to take down Aaron, but Aaron will outshine. Now Darkwings by himself. Chad picks up the kill. And just like that, Cincinnati Fear, they go against Wildcard, top deck him with an ace.
And we're going to see this last fight again, where Quacker, 1v1, he's in a really great position, and even with Lens showing up, Quacker flashes so that he can secure the 1-for-1 with that Hemorrhage passive. And we're going to see this next part again. You go 1-for-1, you get a lot out of Lens to make this play happen, so you feel like you have a pretty good position. But again, the difference between Lens and Aaron at this stage of the game, it cannot be overstated. This Kai'Sa's in a really good spot at 2 items, really strong, and with the help of Chad with the Lamb's Respite, you have a lot of DPS that you're going to be able to get done. Even though he goes 1-for-1 with Aaron in the end, you still have Chad on this Kindred.
Shout out to Chad for putting up the thumbs up emote as well. He was actually trying to do the fist bump, and no one would fist bump in the middle of a fight. I don't know why.
Crazy. Why not? I press that button whenever one small thing good happens. Like, oh, any viewers?
Anyone? Press it with me. Press U. Button. Press it in Twitch chat right now. Let Chad know that's only fist bump him.
That would be a fun trend. Something cool happens, chat just spams you.
All right, here comes Quacker. He's looking for Lens. You can see the damage that Lens is able to put in, but Quacker is not afraid, and Aaron is going to be the one to pick up that kill.
And this is what I mean. Playing into that Darius range, so dangerous. Lens out of the picture. It's a perfect time to go for this mid-tier 1, and this Herald surely is going to be able to get another charge as well into that second turret.
Oh, we're drifting. And we're done drifting. All right, half the health of that turret now taken out. Wildcard, they're happy grabbing that mid lane tower. It does open up the map for more vision control from Wildcard. It's still Cincinnati Fear who are holding the lead at about 2k at the moment. Now Fear looking to chase out the rest of Wildcard from their jungle. Winnie will not be able to steal away the blue buff. And now we're going to get those big resets. I mean, Aaron just got quite a few kills. He was able to get a turret as well, so second item will now be completed along with the crit kill.
Yeah, and it's the Spear of Shojin, so you're getting a lot of haste as a result. But they're going to take this chance on the side of Fear. They're just going to go ahead and start the Baron. Philip.
Oh
no.
This is not the way you want to go. Lambs for Spike goes out. Dark Wings coming on the flank. Seismic shove. Cincinnati Fear see an angle on Doxa. Unbreakable. He will not be broken. Glacial Fissure doesn't find the knock-up onto Daption. Now Toasty leads the charge. Able to step away. Gets the Seismic shove on the Dark Wings. And now comes the ultimate. Able to get the lockdown. Chad falls. A shutdown found by Aaron. And Wildcard bait Fear right on in.
There's an angle for the Baron here too, because you got Chad down for 30 seconds. Even when he comes back, that Lamb's Respite's going to be on cooldown for a little while yet. So it ends up being a nice angle there from Wildcard. You can see that Aaron is at 170 stacks, so a little later than we usually see on average, but he's getting really close to that 225 mark. And Fear, they're not really close to a Dragon Soul.
See that damage coming out from Aaron.
Oh my
Quacker
God.
tries to defend the tower. Wildcard are actually going for this fight. Darkwing's Quacker stayed alive for so long. Here comes Lens. He wants to do it by his lonesome. Goes after Aaron. Aaron's not going to fall, though, as it's a double kill now picked up for Lens. Lens is on fire. The Turkish Prince, the crown over his head, will give Cincinnati Fear a fight that Wildcard cannot take.
And now there's the opening for the Baron. Fear have all the priority needed, especially with Toasty, who can join with Teleport. Wildcard, they're just not recognizing the actual windows of the game where they're able to team fight. Aaron is not strong enough. That is not contentious. That is just a fact. And because Wildcard chose to go for this fight, they find themselves deeper in the hole. And Fear have the Rally Cry Baron buff.
225. That's the number we're looking for, Aaron. That's what we need. That is when Wildcard will be strong. That is when they should be fighting, not before it. Because right now, Lens is popping off. 6, 2, and 5. 3 items completed. Now working on that 4th item. And you've given so much momentum back to what is supposed to be your late game win condition in Wildcard.
Right, and that Nashor's Tooth for Lens means he can spam those Void Seekers all day long as he's hitting the champions. And this Baron buff means Fear are going to be able to pick up more gold by knocking down more turrets. You can see it, this focus on the mid and bot lane, trying to flush Winnie out of his own jungle.
30 seconds. Dragon comes up. Side lane control coming out from Toasty. Mid lane control out from Philip. This leaves Quacker by his lonesome over in the top side, who's going to push for a tower right now. Cincinnati Fear will still race to take down that top lane, bottom lane tier 2. Now pushing towards the base. Dragon still spawning within the next 10 seconds, but Fear fancy themselves a siege. Going underneath the tower, missile lands onto Winnie. A lot of this poke is starting to land true, but Daption is getting punished in the process. Gets hit by the ultimate from downtown. Darkwings will claim the kill.
Yeah, Adaption gets a little too deep here, but you're still going to get a tier 2 on the side of Fear. I mean, that's still a net positive in gold, and you're still waiting for Aaron to reach that stack threshold. He's very close now. He's 12 more stacks, but Fear are going to go ahead and grab their soul point.
Infernal Drake picked up. And we just got word where the stacks are currently. You can see them right now. 4 stacks on Chad. That's very little. He's kind of been choked out.
I was going to say.
That's pretty brutal, man.
At least you get your first upgrade. Expert of Range is going to feel nice. But yeah, the big thing with Chad this game, it is going to be that Lamb's Respite. He's gotten a lot of value so far, and I'm expecting that's how Fear are going to be winning out on some of these crucial team fights. Because now Aaron is getting really close to 225 stacks. Now he's going to be in a position where he's going to be able to offer a lot more in these team fights.
So there's no objective to fight over at the current moment. So for Wildcard, just play a little bit safe. You only need 5 more stacks, man, and Aaron's going to have that execute. And yeah, this is where the Smolder starts to become a big threat. This is where you're going to have to focus down Aaron if you want to win these fights on the side of Cincinnati Fear.
Baron buff for another 22 seconds. This is going to be that last push for Fear. They're able to knock down a couple of turrets for it, and we are getting the zoom in. Because Aaron has reached that magical number. Okay, there it is, guys. Now Wildcard, you're allowed to team fight. The problem is, Fear are 5k up, so they are still in a really strong position with how strong Lens has been this game.
They're kind of looking for the engage right now. Mom gets called down onto Daption. Daption's going to be the first one to fall, but Winnie might follow suit. Coming over on the backside is Lens. Lens by himself! What in the world are you doing? He will fall, and now Wildcard are given the opportunity. Over aggression from Cincinnati Fear is going to cost him big.
And if Chad maybe gets away from this, but Quacker is ghosting. The only solace is that Philip is able to threaten the bottom inhibitor. Wait, he does die, right?
Okay, he's going to get one more dash after a hand was short.
He's out. He's out.
Chad actually gets out. Inhibitor tower goes down. It was a big blunder by Cincinnati Fear, but they're still coming out ahead. That's a base that's been cracked.
Ahead is a strong word. I wouldn't necessarily say that. Smolder getting 3 kills. That's pretty good. It's really important for Aaron, who's building towards what I'm assuming to be that RFC coming next, or whatever his next item is going to be. Whatever his next item is going to be, it is going to be a pretty big spike for this champion. And I mean, we're going to see this replay again.
What was this?
Miscommunication. That's what I imagine.
Yeah. So I mean, Daption takes the front load of the damage, but the wild part about this was just Lens diving in right here.
Yeah, I mean, you have the upgraded Icathian Rain. Cool, 12 missiles, but it's 12 missiles shared against 4 people, so it's really not a lot of damage. It was definitely Lens getting a little too hypey in that team fight.
Oh, yeah.
And you gave away a lot of gold that you didn't need to.
I mean, Lens giveth, Lens taketh away.
True.
As been a monster all game, but one big blunder does give a lot back to Wildcard. All that being said, though, Cincinnati Fear still have a pretty definitive lead. It's 5.2k. Yeah. Got 2 minutes before Dragon comes up, 1 minute before Baron. So this is still something that Cincinnati Fear can very clearly recover from.
Okay.
You just can't see more blunders like that, man.
So here's the thing. Yes, the aggregate gold lead is about 5,300. But a lot of that is the difference between Winnie and Chad. I mean, Winnie's playing Sejuani, so it's not that big a deal. And the other difference is Quacker being about 1,000 gold behind as well. And his value is unchanged because of that, right? So Wildcard are actually very strong right now.
Daption's been falling victim to the start of a lot of these fights, so he does bail. And quick priority coming out from Wildcard as they invade the jungle. They still have a tier 1 down there in the bottom lane. That's objective bounty on top of it. So getting control over here and then rotating that either towards the Dragon or the bot lane is good influx of gold for Wildcard.
Yeah, it is honestly, it's kind of funny to me that objective bounties are up right now. It makes sense, but the fact is Wildcard are in such a powerful position this game. And that extra gold, it just doesn't feel fair in this position, especially with Fear being so close to that Dragon Soul. I mean, that's the payoff for Wildcard getting the first streak of the game.
I do want to say that Darkwings has been pretty good at landing his ultimate and just stifling Daption from having any impact, any second rotation spells. And because of that, that ultimate really does make it hard for Fear to move forward from the way.
Yeah.
It just keeps expanding, and you have to respect that amount of territory. Wildcard, having the first footing in towards the river, it works very well for them if Fear are engaging into them.
Because it's Fear's soul, they want to use this opportunity, use that pressure to go for this Drake. Right now it's Quacker soloing, he doesn't have teleport. So this is a numbers advantage for Fear if they want to try and use it.
Quacker still on that Dragon. He didn't get reset, so he will still have time to take this down and secure it for Wildcard, stop the Dragon Soul for Cincinnati Fear. As Fear fancy themselves a Baron dance, but not able to keep up to the tune of Wildcard.
And this is a Drake, an objective bounty, no less, going over to Wildcard side because Quacker soloed it. This game is getting increasingly difficult for Fear to close it out. Aaron is getting more stacks, more items, and he's just becoming tremendously more useful as time goes on. And you can see that Fear understand that. That's why they're so much more wary in these fights. But the problem is, if you don't win this next Drake fight, I just see no avenue where you're able to win this game. Honestly, if I'm being 1,000%, I'm already struggling to see a way Fear win this game.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest hope is taking down Aaron, but look at the stage of the game we're in, right? How do you take him down? He does have Ghost. His flash is going to be up in a couple of seconds, and the layers of protection that he has due to champions like Braum makes it so hard to actually get on to the Smolder and put this Smolder down. And right now, I mean, I said before, Aaron's been pretty good on this Smolder for getting Wildcard, some pretty good games where they almost come back from. This time they're in the lead, man, so Aaron's sitting pretty, and for Cincinnati Fear, it's going to take a very, very cold, calculated play to take down that baby dragon.
It is, and I feel like it all hinges on Philip. He needs a flank. He is this Aatrox that has basically gone lethality, the Profane Hydra, things like that. You have a lot of burst damage, and the hope is that you can get this angle that Aaron is not expecting. You kill him, game's over. You can win. But it's really hard. Depending on a flank like that, if somebody marks you well enough, it's just never going to happen. You called it. Aaron has both his summoners up as well, and he's fully scaled up. You look like you're stressing right now.
I'm laughing.
Why?
Remember that one time we made a bet and I said someone spilled water on their keyboard?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Toasty spilled water. To be fair,
Toasty spilled water.
He didn't say on his keyboard, but also,
okay.
You can read the future, so congratulations.
Okay, so
can you tell me some lottery numbers?
Yeah. Let me go look at the KDAs right now. 7, 3, and 5. So 6, 2, and 2.
That would be a pretty funny way to just pick your lottery numbers one day. Let me just look at the KDAs of whatever league I'm watching right now.
Dude, I want to be in the mind of Toasty right now because these are high stress games, right? When it gets more stressful once we get towards the elimination stage, but keeping that first life feels good to have as you get deeper and deeper in the upper bracket. But imagine everything's shaky, everything's tense, and you just spill your water right there. Like,
I know.
Just derails the mindset. Silly moment, it happens, right?
I think if we really want to talk about that sort of thing, that might be a good thing for Fear, because in a situation like this, it's probably really valuable that you get yourself a second to like relax, because you can tell Fear are stressing with the game state they find themselves in as we get right back into it. And Fear, it's the YOLO Desperate Baron flip, guys.
They're going for it. They pulled out the playbook. They've
opened
it. The Hail Mary. It's already gone, though. Cincinnati Fear secure the purple worm, and now Wildcard. They want to take a fight. Daption gets hit by the ultimate bomb, comes down. Philip coming off on the flank. Winnie's getting low. Tries to bail out with the Arctic Assault, but there's Lens on the flank. We'll take one right back. Chad tried to survive in the labs despite, but Quacker chops him down.
Goodbye, Daption.
A double kill for Aaron as the Baron was picked up, but it cost Fear 3 members.
Lens is in a mission in no man's land. I don't think anybody knows where he actually is, and it does mean that at least two Baron buffs will be preserved, and it's an objective that you deny from Wildcard. So the hope is that you can use this to get some kind of pressure in one of these side lanes, and hope that you can actually set up for a Drake. But I mean, we're already seeing it now. These fights have become basically impossible for Cincinnati Fear.
Yeah. It has become quite brutal to actually try and fight down, and that's why you're seeing the desperation attempts coming out of Cincinnati Fear. The damage they had was quite surprising for that Baron, so in future cases, if they want to go back to that play, it's definitely very capable. The thing is, time is ticking, and Aaron's only getting more stacks.
It only gets harder from here, exactly. And it has to be an angle from Philip or something to try and make this one happen. Because now, at least Aaron doesn't have Ghost. If you can get him locked down before he can flash, that's your way in. And we're seeing Lens index into more AP, get a little more value out of those Void Seekers, that he's going to be able to keep spamming from a distance.
You have to, man.
Yeah, you do.
That's it, the distance. You need the distance so bad.
And if you use the Killer Instinct, the shield that you get does scale off AP, so that will get him that extra bit of sustain in these fights as well. But, oh, hold on. Oh,
here he comes. Okay.
Oh, never mind.
Just ride the wall on out. Oh, kind of got stuck inside of the wall in the process, but better that than giving up your life to Quacker.
Yeah. So you use the Weaver's Wall. That's no big deal. You can see Fear, they're in desperation mode. The next Drake is the only thing they can hope for, and the other thing is that Wildcard makes some sort of mistake, and Aaron is caught by himself, but that just isn't going to happen. Wildcard, they know their win condition right now, and it is that little baby dragon who's reached item number 4 and is level 16.
Scary baby dragon, 4 items, Vamp Scepter on top of it, so working towards that 5th item. Now Wildcard. It's a minute 40 before that dragon does come up. And it's something Wildcard are very capable of denying from Fear. So Fear right now are playing the map to try and find their own windows of opportunity. Try and set up side lanes. Try and find something that's just not a direct 5v5 against this Smolder with the front line.
Yeah, the small benefit is that you can see Wildcard, they're not really playing side lanes very much. You have a really good front to back comp. You have the Smolder who's incredibly strong. So it makes sense. You're just mostly focusing on 1 or 2 lanes at a time, and you're giving Aaron as much attention as possible. And you're just waiting for an opportunity like this dragon in a minute's time where Fear are actually going to come engage with you.
Yeah, it's Aaron and the boys walking around in the map. Aaron will have an escort no matter where he goes because he's that crucial towards Wildcard success.
Yeah.
Side lane still being played by Toasty over here, who will shove in the wave, as well as that earlier outer tower finally getting taken by Darkling, so that's more gold going over to the Sway.
Yeah.
And more opportunities for Wildcard. Look to take it to Fear, and that opportunity is coming rather soon, Beatdown. It's 30 seconds before Dragon comes in.
Right, wow. Okay, we're seeing the teleport from Toasty top side.
Okay. It wasn't moving down, so they don't know he's over there.
They will. I mean, they'll know really soon. So the thing is, he does have the Weaver's Wall. He can cross the map very quickly, but I'm wondering, because it is a Wildcard soul, it could be the goal that you just try and trade an inhibitor, and if they let you an inhibitor. So it's looking like the only one answering is going to be Dark Wings. I think Fear, okay, if you're going to do this, you can't fight this Drake. You got to let this one go.
Teleport instantly out of Darkwing's Weaver's Wall, going to be used from Toasty to join the fray. But Darkwings will make this a 5v5. Daption looking for the angle on the hook. Doxa is going to be the big bodyguard for Aaron. Fear want to execute this dragon. This baby dragon is giving them too much pressure. 3k remains onto the Drake. Fear looking for that dragon soul. Wildcard will push him away. Here comes down Mom. And Doxa's the low one. Philip goes for the flank. They're looking for Aaron.
They got him. They got him.
Aaron's dead. Lens gets the kill. He'll go after Winnie. And Cincinnati Fear, with the weight of the world on their shoulders, they find a quadra kill for the Turkish prince, Lens.
Oh my god, and they're gonna let it go, which is the biggest thing too. You don't need the Penta. You have long spawn timers on the majority of Wildcard. You could actually look to close this one out. What felt like an unwinnable game, an impossible situation, Fear have clutched up.
The clutch.
Oh, they're stopping
being
him.
used.
Look at Daption.
Daption stopping the recall. Oh my goodness, they said cut the deck while Cincinnati Fear do it with the scythe. Doxa looking to defend the Nexus. Lens is there. Unbreakable goes up, but you can't stop the autos. Oh my goodness, the Reapers of the Rift, the Harbingers of Havoc. Cincinnati Fear will claim their first souls.
And how about that vengeance, Eric? Wildcard 2-0 him in the regular split. In the first round of playoffs, they say bye-bye as they send them to the lower bracket off the back of what should have been an impossible game.
Lens!
Lens.
What the hell, man? Like, some of the plays, we get
made
that
up
tower
for it.
dive over
We
in the
made up
top
for
side. Balls of steel takes them down towards that dragonfly. Pull it up right now. Pull it up right now. Let's highlight this man. Come on, come on. Bring it. Bring it. There we go.
This fight was so chaotic. I was just trying to follow Aaron to see where the angle was. But you can see it. Lens got a lot of early damage onto Doxa. That's the one who protects Aaron the most. So as soon as he's down, Aaron is no longer protected. And after that happens, this fight is no longer winnable by the side of Wildcard. And that's part of the decision. The benefit of Lens leaning more into that AP build. Those Void Seekers were able to slowly chunk out Doxa. I say slowly, but it only took 2 or 3 before they actually managed to pull the trigger. So it was a really nice comeback for Fear in a game where they got outscaled. It was looking bad.
And this time when Lens dives, it's a stopwatch. So great play from Cincinnati Fear. We definitely want to hear from them. I'm exhausted after these series, man. We had 2 bangers back to back, man. So we're going to throw it over break. When we return, we'll have an interview with one of the members of Cincinnati Fear.
Introducing the new foot-long sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious foot-long cookie, foot-long pretzel, or foot-long churro.
Welcome back, everyone, to LCS Challengers. It's not Lens this time. We are joined by Toasty. How you doing, brother? Oh, no.
Oh, we lost. We just had
Lost him again.
Okay,
Oh, there he
you
is.
go.
There he is.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
I'm doing very well. I'm just happy that we won.
So talk to me about that game 3, because there was a certain point where we felt like it was just getting harder and harder for you guys to come back. And then Lens pulls out the hero play of the century onto the back line. What were the comms like going through that final play?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew it was like a bit of a dire situation, but like we all had confidence in ourselves to be able to like win, you know. But I mean, Lens really showed up that last team fight and like in other team fights, especially game 3 and game 1. He get smurfed, so we weren't really nervous. We kind of understood the situation, but we had confidence in our ability to win.
Fair enough. And when you did, I want to ask you, Toasty, about your experience in Challengers League overall, because like this is the first chance we get to talk to you after your first regular split is done. How do you feel about yourself as a player between like day 1 until right now?
Honestly, I think I improved a lot, and I kind of proved that I can compete in this level. I think maybe going in, I kind of had a little bit of doubts, but especially like early on, I kind of was getting ran by a lot of these other mid laners, but I think my laning has improved a lot. I think my comms have improved a lot, and my like communication, or not my communication, my chemistry with my teammates like really helped me improve.
Yeah, I definitely got to agree with that. Your growth over the split was a lot of fun to see. We already knew you were a very capable team fighter, but you know, stepping up against this competition, very nice so far, Toasty. But now, moving on to the next topic, I want to be forward-looking. As in round 2, you will be facing off against FlyQuest Challengers. Now, I got to ask, did you watch their game against AoE?
Yeah, I mean, I was scared that I was using up all my energy because during the entire series I was screaming my lungs out because it was such a good game. Like I was actually so hyped, and then like I said this to my team after the game 3. I was like, wow, guys, like that actually got me so hyped. I'm so ready to play our match today, you know.
But with that means that FlyQuest are going to be your challengers for the next match. So how do you feel about that opponent coming next on your agenda?
I mean, they're definitely good, but I think a lot of these teams have showed that they're actually beatable. Like, they're not these, like, unkillable, like, unbeatable, like, Demon Kings, you know? Like,
yeah, I know your boy Shochi got a win against FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, Supernova beat them. A lot of these teams are taking games off them, including us. We took a game off them as well. So, I mean, I think it'll be hard, but I'm definitely not confident that we're going to win, you know, or we can win.
Hey, fair enough. The last thing I wanted to ask you too was you guys beat Wildcard today. It was a 3-0 series, 2-1 series, excuse me, with the 3 games. Did it feel good to beat them? Because the last time you played them, they 2-0'd you. Did that cross your mind at all going into today? Were you guys thinking about it?
I mean, it felt super good, and it was also the one team that we didn't go to game 3 against.
Oh my god, yeah, because you did that with everyone.
Yeah, every single game except for them was 2-1 or 1-2, but honestly, like, we played really bad that week when we played against them, and we were really not in shape. And like, I gotta talk for my boy Max or Chad Jungle, because after the interview, Winston was kind of shit talking, or he was kind of trash talking.
It's already out there.
He said like Max never wins against him or something. So, you know, it's kind of like a revenge game. We had to get him back, you know.
Can't wait to read Twitter.
It, man. Yeah.
There's
not
no
just
beef,
for
it's
the
just
beef,
like,
but also for some of Matt's socials, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Toasty, we want to thank you so much for joining us. Do you got any shout-outs before we let you go?
I'd like to shout out my friends that cheered me on. I'd like to shout out my teammates. I'd like to shout out my coaches, Cal, JJ, Ido. Ido, actually, I'm not sure if like a lot of people know this, but Ido has helped me a lot, and he's been kind of my positional coach along with Philip. So I think I've improved a lot with his help. Even though like I'm not sure like that many people know he's coaching our team or like side coaching. And yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for watching.
All right, man. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck on the rest of playoffs, and looking forward to the next comms videos, man. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, they were really funny. Thank you.
All right, that is gonna do it for the day. And what a day, Beatdown! What a day.
I just take a second, Eric. Catch a breath. You deserve it. You played 6 games in a row, and damn, what a conclusion to that last game. I really feel like it was a cherry on top of a really exciting day of games, and there you have it. FlyQuest and Cincinnati Fear. There are 2 teams who remain in the upper bracket who are also going to face each other in the next round, and we can just take a look at it here.
Of course, that means that AoE and Wildcard are not out. If you are in the upper bracket and you fall down, you will still have one more chance to fight for your life. So that means we're going to have a bit of a banger again with AoE versus Wildcard. I mean, they took every team to 3 games. So at this point, just bring them on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, it is pretty nice to see how much better AoE have played today. I mean, I'm with Chime. This wasn't the best series from FlyQuest Challengers, but still, I think the improvement from last week means that series should be a lot closer than maybe we might think, and it might end in a way that we might think. Who knows?
You know, a lot of Titans to go on later on in the week. You still have Maryville versus DSG, Supernova versus TLC.
That's tomorrow.
And the way the schedule is going to work, by the way, for those of you who might just be joining us, we will be doing our playoffs from Thursday to Sunday. Whenever there's a LCS day, we'll be on right after that. So if you want to keep up with playoffs, you got to keep up with playoffs, man. This is the development of North America right here. This is the big one, man. And we got some pretty great storylines coming out so far. Beat, do you got any words before we wrap this up and head out?
I'm glad we got the 6-game day. Again, thank you, Cloud9, for making it so that it didn't end too late despite that. So, you know, we got to really enjoy this, and we still have the rest of our nights to go out. Obviously, we are going to be rating Dokla, so stick around and watch that. He streams pretty consistently. Give him some love. And come back tomorrow, because we have more games to watch.
games.
I better see
More
you.
games. more
I know
games.
everyone in Twitch chat. I better see you there.
He knows where you're at. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
Oh, yeah. That.
But yeah, it's going to be a fun time for playoffs. That was just a sample, some of the action we're going to be having. But of course, a big thank you to everyone who works behind the scenes. Kai, Cynthia, Emery, everyone over at Load Screen. Caddy as well, of course. And of course, thank you to the Twitch chatters out there who were taking fun in our little things with the fist bumps and naming some of the telegrubbies that I am now going to call them. But be sure to tune in, same time tomorrow as Beat said, because we got more playoffs action. My name has been Des Rooks. This has been Beat Down Boulevard, and we'll see you next time on LCS Challengers.